Okay, welcome to another episode of Debbie Does Dinner. So today we're being a little creative. Stainless non-stick skillet. So I'm going to turn it on to let it start heating. So it's got that you see the silver that's coming through there? That is actually stainless that's coming through there. So you're going to get a true sear when you use these skillets. These are lifetime warranty. The way the lip is made to keep from having drips along the side of you pouring. The handle's hollow, so that makes it you won't get hot as quickly. So we're going to put just a little of our garlic infused canola oil down in here and let that start to heat while we get everything ready. Now, this sounds silly, but the way to me to tell if the oil is hot enough is it starts to look stretched. So if your oil looks stretched, you're ready to go. So let's get our chicken ready. Adding any oil to the chicken because we have that in there. We're just going to sprinkle it with our Southwest seasoning mix. Now this is one of my most popular selling seasonings. So I'm going to do that side, and then when we put it in the skillet, we'll do the other side. So let's see how our oil's getting. So it's starting to get hot. Add the chicken. Now when you're cooking with stainless, what you want to remember is when you put your meat in here, don't touch it. Put it in there, put on a timer so you don't forget, and then come back and turn it. Because if you will do that, when it's cooking, it's going to naturally release itself. If it's hard to pick up and turn, it's not ready to turn, so leave it alone. Just leave it alone, girlfriend. Alright, so our oil is hot, so we should hear a nice sizzle when we drop our chicken. So let's get over here and take a look. I do love that sound. So, putting the seasoned side down. And you'll feel it when it touches the pan, it grabs it and keeps it. So you can't move it right away. And you shouldn't. So add some seasoning to this side. Splatters, instead of putting a lid on it, I like to use my splatter screens cooking. I'm going to get my asparagus ready. Now if you really want to take your time with it, if you take asparagus and bend it, it snaps where it needs to get rid of the woody part. So you can always be like Legally Blonde and do bend and snap. Or if you're in a hurry like I usually am, just take a big knife and get this out of the way. We're going to just cut into about 3 pieces. These will be going into the skillet here in a little bit to be with our chicken. And then we're going to get some stuff ready to go on top. So, because these were thin, so I'm going to remove my splatter screen, and I'm just going to turn our chicken over. Look at that beautiful sear. Do you see that? How pretty that's looking? There is just something about that sear that makes everything taste better. It caramelizes the food, gives it a better flavor, and it's more. While we do this side we're only going to do for 2 minutes. Okay, it's been cooking on this side for 2 minutes, so now, oops, turn the timer off. We're going to take the top off, completely done in the middle. We don't need it to be that way yet. It's going to finish up in a few minutes. So we just wanted to sear this outside, get it beautiful brown color, which is what we want. Now, we are going to use, this is called the fond, the stuff that's left in the bottom. Now to release that fond, because we don't want to scrape that out, a couple tablespoons of butter in here, let it melt. That's going to come through here and help to start releasing this fond. So we're going to let that, and butter browns so nicely. And it's a natural ingredient, so you don't have a lot of chemicals. It's just made from cream. And I do use salted butter because I like the flavor. And put our asparagus in here. If you feel like you need some more liquid in the bottom, add a little bit of chicken broth. You can add wine. I don't particularly like to use wine, so I'm just going to do my asparagus. So we're going to put the lid on it and leave it set for 2 minutes. So over here I have some onion, and I'm going to use our food chopper. If you've never used our food chopper, this was my very first Pan for the Chef out of my box. So I'm going to chop it up real nice, and you know, I like it to have some chunks left so I have flavor, so I can taste it. So I don't want to chunk it up too much, just enough people can see it, so if they don't want onion, they can pick it off. Alright, so our onion is ready. Now we're going to do some tomatoes. Now my husband does not like hot tomatoes, so I'll leave the tomatoes off of some of the chicken. So this is our closing cut. You've seen me use it for chicken breast, tomatoes. You just have to make sure that you have at least a 7-inch color-coated bread knife. It's the one I use the most with it. So this is spring-loaded. You put what you want cut in half in here. Close the lid, take your big knife, and come right through. So those are all cut in half. So those will be for the part of the chicken breast, since not everybody wants tomatoes on there. So let's see what's happening over here. Alright. So our asparagus is nice and sauteed. It's got that the flavor from the butter as well as the chicken fond. So I'm going to push this kind of out to the side like this. Yeah? Looking good, isn't it? So now we're going to take our chicken breasts and lay them back in the skillet. Kind of push them up. Don't waste that. Take that and pour it around. Because that's flavor. That is flavor to put back in. For our chicken, I have a mixture of Colby Jack and cheddar here. Why, you ask? Because that's what I had ready. So we're going to put some cheese on here, all over our chicken, all over our chicken. So this is keto friendly meal, by the way. If y'all are doing keto, if you're not, it's still just yummy. Part of them, whoops, except for the ones I let in the floor, I'm going to put some tomatoes. So we'll leave half of it with no tomatoes and half of it with tomatoes. Now to carry that flavor through, we're going to sprinkle a little more Southwest right on top. Not a lot, because it's, like I said, it does have a little kick to it. Now then, I'm going to top them all with some of this nice diced onion. So we got that. Now the cheese I grated fresh. I always grate my own cheese because I don't want to have that cellulose product in there. We like onions, so let's put a lot. All right. Now this is going in the oven at 400 degrees. I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes. The chicken will finish cooking. The broccoli will not broccoli. The asparagus will be done and the cheese will be melted. So hang on, we're going to be checking on our pork loin now too. Okay, our chicken's ready, so let's bring it out and check it. Even though this handle doesn't turn hot while you're cooking on top of the stove, it does turn hot in the oven. So one thing I do is I take an oven mitt off and I slide it over it, because I can promise you I have grabbed that more than once. So now that our chicken's out, we need to be sure it's cooked well. So I've taken the probe off and I'm going to use the built-in probe, and we're going to check the temperature of the chicken. Just put the lid on this, let both of these dishes rest for a minute. Could you see the veggies down in there? Check it out. That look good? Keto is it is not boring. Now if you're not eating keto, this is still so good for you. And you can put all this together like I did in just a little bit. And then I've got 2 meals ready, 2 main dishes ready. And then I can just throw a salad together, warm up some green beans, anything like that. So you all have a blessed day, and we'll be cooking again.